go ahead and review your game with Alabama State and talk a little bit about your upcoming game with Alcorn.
Well, I mean, of course, it was the Magic City Classic. Both teams came in ready to play, uh, and it showed. First quarter we kind of um, felt each other out. Um, kind of went back and forth. They had some couple of big plays, but defense we held and forced a couple of field goal attempts. One was missed and the other one was blocked. And we went back and forth. Then it was kind of a quiet first quarter, second quarter. Some fireworks started going off, and they scored. And we had came back and thought we had answered with a punt return, but it was called back for a block in the back, which. Well, it was just a shame that that play was called back because it was a heck of an effort on our kids' part, and it was just a shame. But that snatched a lot of momentum from us. We had some other opportunities, a couple of drop balls, and they did the same. But and then after that, we were denied that opportunity to score, and they came back and made a couple of great plays and finished the first half 14-0. So we go on to 14-0, come back out, give ourselves some more opportunities. We made a bunch of mistakes, and they played a good football game. I knew they were a good football team, and I knew that we could not afford to make a bunch of mistakes, whether they were on our part or whether they were imposed by someone else. We just couldn't afford to make mistakes and give ourselves a chance to beat this team. And but we hung, played hard. They scored. The game made it 21-7. We came back and got a touchdown, and then they answered with 10 more points. Kind of tacked on another touchdown at the end, the score ended up being 31-7. Looked like it was a blowout, but it was a much closer game than what it was, and some opportunities and some very untimely penalties aided in that. And as I said before, I knew they were a good football team, well coached. Coach Barlow is doing a great job with them. And with that being said, when you get them those kind of opportunities, it's going to be a tough day for you. So, but our kids played hard. They continued to play throughout the entire game, and that's always a good thing.
At this time, we'll open.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
At this time, we'll open the floor for questions for Coach Jones.
Coach Jones, in the second half, you put Jim Mason Lee in there, but then you changed your mind to put Brandon Wells in for quarterback to make that touchdown pass. What made you change your mind to switch those quarterbacks?
I didn't change my mind. He was hurt. Jamison got hurt the play before, and he looked at me like he was hurt. And so, and my other coach was saying the same thing. It looked like he was hurt. So I got him out for a play or two, try to get his whereabouts back. And Brandon only played 2 plays, and that was he played where he handed the ball off once, and then the next play he threw a touchdown. And Jamison went back in, so he was hurt. At least I perceived him being such. But when I talked to him later, he had talked about the when he got hit 2 plays before that, the tar stuff from the field turf got in his mouth and helmet and all that stuff, and he was coughing, and I thought he had hurt his back or chest or something, and so I pulled him out for that purpose and that purpose only. But he's fine.
Now, your punter, Rashard Anderson, he's also a wide receiver. He's doing a great job punting the ball. He punted the ball 8 times for 265 yards. What have you talked to Rashard? Tell him what a great job he's doing being a punter, because you were kind of needed a punter in this situation.
I tell him that all the time. Told him Rashad is an excellent athlete. He's actually a defensive back, and he's probably one of our better kick returners. And we got pressed into duty this year as him being a punter. The kid that we had punting decided to leave, and we had recruited a punter. He decided not to come. So, we had some big holes to fill in a lot of areas, and particularly the kicking game. Holes that we thought we had addressed through recruiting, but then kids changed their mind and decided they didn't want to go to school, whatever the case may be. So he stepped in and filled those voids for us. And I talked to him about it really just this past week again, how important he was as far as the punter was concerned, and that because he's the only kid we have that can do the job at that level. And so talk to him about it. Next year we'll have another kid in here that can punt, and he can go back and resume the responsibilities and the job that he can do. But that's just one of the things that's happening this year that's kind of added a little to this year being the way it is.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, do you feel like fatigue setting in for the defense after being out there when the offense can't get things going? Does that affect how the defense performs?
Can you ask that question one more time, please?
Yeah, I was just asking, do you think the offense not really being able to get things going, especially early on as far as points on the board, does that affect the defense when they have to come back out on the field with kind of no points behind them?
Well, I'm sure it does. I mean, the thing that the offense is doing a good job of is possessing the ball. We're holding on the ball longer than our opponents, but we're just not scoring points. We're not finishing drives. And, when you look up and you see guys open and we can't make that connection, when you look up and you see you got opportunities to score points, I mean, you get the ball inside the 1 yard line and you fumble on second and goal from the half-yard line and you fumble it away. And the worst part about it, it wasn't a forced fumble. That was a self-inflicted wound. And that's very discouraging, and I don't care how strong you are mentally, when those things happen, you get to wondering, what else? Why? And whenever you're feeling that way, you're not fully concentrating on your task at hand, and you're not that type of a player. And so we just got to find a way to stop committing self-inflicted injuries because they're killing us. And, we had our opportunities. We had some chances throughout that ball game to make some plays, and we didn't. And the bad part about it, as I said before, and I'm not taking anything away from Alabama State. Alabama State is an excellent football team. Coach Barlow does a great job with them. They're explosive, but they're making the plays and we're not. And some of the things that we did had nothing to do with Alabama State. It was us. And that's why we're in the predicament we're in right now.
Any more questions for Coach Jones? Coach, could you preview your matchup this week against Alcorn State?
Well, it's another team, very explosive. Coach is doing a great job with them. He's got them believing in themselves, and they're still in the race. They played a great game last week, scoring a lot of points, defense. He has the kind of team now that can do what is necessary to win. They got to score a lot of points. They can. If their defense has to shut opponents down, they have and can. And so, again, he's doing a great job. It's going to be on the road, which makes it more tougher. It's going to be another. From here on out, all our games are going to be the same. They're going to be tough against well-coached football teams and good talent football teams. And, we're going to have to go down there and try to find a way to be our best and stop inflicting these self-imposed wounds and try to give ourselves a chance to compete. And that's the only thing we can do is go back and give ourselves a chance to compete. And every chance we get, and what we have this weekend is another opportunity to play a football game, to coach a football game. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to coach it as hard as we can. We're going to play it as hard as we can. And regardless of the opponent, we have a good one this week. on the road. And we'll go out there and do the best we can, put forth our best effort, and at the end we'll sit back and see how that goes.